Hello and welcome back to another Tesla Open Mic podcast episode. If you're new to this podcast, Tesla Open Mic is a show that discusses exploratory testing, manual testing, testing career path, or to show you how to start one from scratch, even if you are not from the IT industry. Everything that will help you grow as a Tesla tester, an EPAM systems company, or motivate you to become a tester with us. And this series is about team leaders' wisdom capsules. Well, after all, it's called 5 minutes of TL's practical wisdom. Wisdom on how testers can elucidate when a behavior is a bug or not. Tips and tricks, examples, practical wisdom to help you test more productively. Thank you for being here with us today.
Hey, this is Lukasz, Tesla team leader. Thank you for inviting me, Charlie.
Also, practical wisdom. What can you advise testers to identify whether a scenario that seems buggy is not, or vice versa, of course?
I'd like to share with you my experience in recognizing design functionality and how to distinguish it from the real bugs.
Interesting.
I'm sure you will agree that testing application or website with only minimal or no documentation is quite difficult.
Yeah.
Here is not only a question of intuition, but of experience obtained from using the testing similar solution. This is where practice and systematic most of all play a role. Over many years of working in Test.io, I have faced thousands of cases of bugs that were not. I will try to advise you how to avoid them or at least minimize their incorrect classification. Let me start with a few examples.
Please.
The first is e-commerce and sales taxes. In each country, they differ and are presented differently. In Europe, there is a law that required prices to be provided with tax. In the shopping cart, tax may be listed in the separate item, but is included in the price. In US, different taxes are included in the price, depending on the states, and may or may not be shown in the product detail page. It's helpful to check the regulation in the particular country before making a report. Another common case is a bug in the postal code validation. The format is not always 5 digits. There are countries such as UK and Canada, they have a code of 6 characters and include numbers and letters. In this case, it's also important to verify it because very often the customer implements the form validation and only the correct address is accepted.
True.
If you start testing, make sure of the requirements that apply in the particular country. Modern technologies using large language models can speed up the process, but be aware also that they hallucination and always check information in other sources as well. Promotional codes are also a common trap. The terms and conditions of which are always on the website allow you to catch all exceptions and potential regulation. It will also apply to the shipping cost. Sometimes those are calculated in more complicated way, including the calculation of free shipping for the particular products groups or price levels. Another example is the filtering and sorting processes. Very often I receive bugs that are content and don't depend on the implemented functionality, but on the marking of particular product in the web shop configurator. Please consider that the functionality of the shop website depends on the customer. There are good practices on how to implement the individual shop steps, but at the end, it's the customer who decides which and how they are implemented, taking the business risk of their decision. Therefore, experience from other shops should support you analyzing and not set the standard. It's kind of the experience that will help you in your usability test. In terms of the test approach itself, I would advise that you first focus on the feature description and the test goal.
Interesting.
By following this process, you can be sure that you are analyzing the functionality that the customer is most interested in, adding value to the testing process. Often there are hits as to what is and what is not a bug. Another tactic that will increase your chance of finding a valuable bug and avoiding reporting a bug that is not a bug is to spend time at the beginning of the test cycle analyzing no bugs list.
Exactly.
Think of it as an investment in understanding the customer needs and the product. You may lose a moment at the beginning of the cycle for reporting no or standard bugs, but later on you will gain advantage in finding the most critical and valuable ones for the customer. Also analyze on an ongoing basis the bugs reported by other testers and, above all, the feedback from the team leader. Learning from others will allow you to maximize the number of bugs. And of course, it's better to learn from others' mistakes than your own. Okay, good luck and be curious and persistent in the testing process while learning new things. It's everything that will enable you to succeed. It's only a matter of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Tessa Your Open Mic podcast. If you want to become a tester, start a new career, or you are already a Tessa Your tester and want to thrive, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to know more about testing with Tessa Your, listen to the private podcast held in our Discord community server, which you can access directly from your tester account. Take care and stay tuned for more practical wisdom. Cheers.